Hey friend, it is Kate here. Thank you so much for jumping on my channel and joining me for day 10 of our 30-day challenge. Woohoo! If you're brand new here, again, my name is Kate, and we are in the middle of a challenge. You're, of course, welcome to start from the beginning. You can click the link to find that first video, or just start from here. The premise of the challenge is progress, not perfection. So I'm not going to be upset if you start right here instead of from day 1. For my friends that have been with me for all 10 days, how are we feeling? I am so impressed that you are doing so well, moving and grooving with me wherever you are. Yesterday was our first day doing our longer sequence for the second time. Tell me, how are you feeling? A little bit more strong, maybe a little tired from doing it for 10 days prior. I hope wherever you are in the world that you are enjoying and you're giving yourself as much or as little rest as you need. Now this week we are focusing on our roll up and our roll over. Two big exercises in Pilates. We're going to break them down a little bit in here, and I'll remind you throughout class that they're challenging poses, they're challenging exercises. So give yourself the grace, the freedom to be as goofy, as silly, as imperfect as we need to. You'll see progress no matter what you're doing. We'll start on our back with our feet planted into the floor. So go ahead and lie yourself down. Find a comfy, cozy position. And I bet you know what I'm going to say, but let's imprint our spine. Let's press the small of our back down, lengthening. We talked about that last week, so hopefully that feels pretty familiar. But from here, I just want you to reach your fingertips straight up to the sky. Palms facing towards your knees. Maybe give your fingertips a little wiggle. Maybe nod the head, relax the face, smile a little bit. Broaden across your chest. Take a great big inhale. As you exhale, tone your belly and stamp down into the floor, turning on the backs of your legs. Take another big inhale. Exhale, swim your hands down towards your hips. Inhale, float the fingertips right back up. Exhale, press down. Inhale, lift up. 3 more, exhale, press down. Now this could look like you're not doing much, but this is Pilates. We want to turn on all of our muscles. Imagine that you're swimming through something thick like peanut butter or sand, or anything that would make you smile, but would make it challenging to move your arms. One more time, exhale, press down. Hold right there for a moment, broaden across your chest, and flip your palms so they're facing towards your body. This time I want you to inhale, open your hands out to a T. Exhale, tone your belly as you bring them right back down towards your hips. Inhale, reach those fingertips out and away. Exhale, bring them right back down. And we're still moving through that peanut butter, through our sand, and I want you to still press down into both of your feet to lengthen through the small of your back. 3 more times, open and close. 2 more, open and close. Last one, reach those hands out and down. And then I want you to reach them up over your shoulders again. This time, 2 options. 1, we can take a hand behind our head if you know you have tension in your neck when we fold up, or we can keep both fingertips up. Your call. But from here, we're going to take a big inhale and swim our arms down, but curl from our sternum, lifting up. Now, do you feel like your low back just popped off the mat? I hope not after all of our work last week, but press that small of the back down and lengthen. I imagine that someone just chopped me up my sternum and lifted my head and chest up. Whether you have a hand or even 2 behind you, you're still getting a great big workout. Inhale, slowly roll yourself down. Exhale, curl, lift yourself up. Inhale, slowly roll yourself down. Exhale, curl, lift yourself up. As we go up and down, notice if that low back is moving away, hopefully not. Notice if you've forgotten about pressing your feet into the floor to keep our legs, our hamstrings, our quads nice and active. Now this next time, I want you to curl your head and chest up and hold, and then again flip your palms so they're facing towards your body. Almost think of hugging towards your inner thighs or your outer thighs, and then inhale, open out to that T. Exhale, bring it back. Now you might go a little bit smaller than that T if you feel like your shoulders are rising up, or if we feel like we're getting tension in the neck. 3 more, inhale, open. Exhale, close. 2 more, open. Exhale, close. Last one, open. Exhale, close, hold. Take a great big full inhale. Big sigh out. And roll all the way down. Reach your hands over your head for a great big stretch. If it feels nice to grow longer through one arm and then the other, go for it. Wiggle out those fingers. Maybe even cactus your arms open from here. Some of us, our hands might be floating away from the mat. That's okay. If we can soften them totally down, that's great too. Eventually from here, stamp into your feet again, imprint the spine, draw the ribs if they've splayed. Mine definitely did, it happens. Reach those fingertips up. Now this time, instead of bringing your hands all the way to your hips, we're gonna curl up and lift up and over our knees. I almost want you to imagine that you're like a little zombie trying to reach away from you, kind of sending those arms straight forward. From here, it's like someone chopped you a little bit more, punched you in the tummy a little bit, and you lifted up half an inch and drop down. Exhale, lift up half an inch, drop down. If we need a hand behind our head, even if we need 2, that's okay. One thing I do want us to really concentrate on here though is not pooching out in our belly as we lift up. Wow, that's even uncomfortable for me to do, but if we're not paying attention, it's easy to kind of pop that tummy out instead of hollowing it. Every time you lift up a little bit more, think of that heavy weight on your belly kind of encouraging those muscles down. Last one, little up, little down, roll all the way down again. Take your big stretch. Maybe reach from the tip of the toes through your body out your fingertips. And from here, keep your right foot on the right edge of your mat. Take your left foot on top. And then send your hands over to the right side of your mat. So you're making your body kind of a little banana shape or a crescent shape and kind of fanning open your side body. Take a big inhale. And then let that go. Bring yourself back to center. Keep your left foot on the left side of your mat. Take your right foot across. And then reach your hands over to the left. And again, we're like a little banana here, a little half rainbow. Whatever floats your boat, whatever makes you smile. And then go ahead and come back to center. Pull your knees into your chest. Make yourself a teeny tiny little ball, and we're going to rock ourselves up to a seat. We're going to do a little bit of rolling like a ball. Now, if you've ever done rolling like a ball with me, you'll know that we feel very silly while we do this, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with feeling a little silly, a little goofy in our class. A couple of things that I want us to think about while we do rolling like a ball, though, is really slowly moving through the back of our body. Sometimes I see people just kind of ker-thump down and ker-thump up. That's not the goal. That doesn't feel so good. We might worry we're going to smack our head behind us. If instead we're in our true Pilates C curve, kind of hugging our inner thighs, toning that belly, rounding through the back of the body like you're truly making yourself a little ball rather than just as small as you can be. That nice kind of caved in feeling, that same feeling we just had when we kind of did the zombie arms up. I want you to lift your toes up, touch them together. If you kind of flex them, if that feels better, that's okay. But from here, all I want us to do is take a big inhale, big breath out. And now on your next inhale, can you slowly roll back and then roll right back up? Now, if your toes immediately came down to the ground, that is certainly not the end of the world, but I want us to challenge ourselves. About 5 more times, seeing if you can rise up and keep those toes away. We're going to tip back, exhale, come up, pause. Inhale, tip back, exhale, pause. 3 more. Use that big exhale as almost a punch to the tummy, a stopping point to rise up and down. 2 more, back and up. Last one, back and up. Bring those feet on the ground. Sit up taller and straighter. Roll the shoulders. Laugh at yourself. Who cares what you look like? No one's watching you. Bring your hands behind your thighs. Roll your shoulders. Sit up tall and straight. Now, very similar to what we just did, we had that momentum that helped us go up and down. This time, it's all of the core, rolling us down into that halfway C curve. And your hands can slide a little lower if you need to, but I want you to pause when it gets kind of hard. So for me, that's right about here. I've tipped back on my pelvis as much as I can, very similar to those little pelvic tips we did, the pelvic rocks. Instead, we're not rocking back and forth, we're just rocking back and holding. You're going to take a big inhale. Exhale, keep your C curve, roll, restack the shoulders, and then the spine follows. Tip the pelvis back, rock. Find that really challenging place to hold. Maybe you even got a few earthquake shakes. Take a big inhale. Exhale, tone that belly, roll up. Now, could we challenge ourselves taking our hands away? If we need them behind our thighs, that is absolutely fine. But otherwise, tip the pelvis, reach those fingertips out and away. Find that really challenging hard spot. Big inhale. Exhale, curl, roll yourself all the way up. 2 more, just like that. Tip on back, 1 vertebrae at a time. Down, 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 down we go. When it gets so hard, stop, pause. Exhale, roll all the way up. Beautiful job. 2 more. Down we go. Take a moment here, hug your imaginary present, make sure those arms are turned on, and roll up. Last one, tip on back, take a moment. Exhale, roll all the way up. Extend your feet out in front of you. Shake those thighs out. Sometimes we can get a little tension through the front of our psoas here, and usually that means that we're not turning on our abdominal muscles enough. If you notice that while we do those little rollbacks, maybe don't go as far and focus on keeping those abdominal muscles working rather than beginning to grip through the front of our quads and into our psoas muscle. From here, this time, take those feet up and flex your feet like we did in our baseline sequence. I want you to press down into your heels. Roll those shoulders back, sit up tall and straight, and we're going to roll all the way down to the ground. We're going to stay there, so I'm not going to make you come up yet. But, oh, did you hear that's a yet? Not a never, just not right now. Take a big inhale. Tip the pelvis back, slowly roll down. When it gets too hard, can you pause for a second and hold? Maybe those hands are still behind your thighs. That's okay. Do you feel yourself gripping in our quads? Do we feel ourselves gripping in our hamstrings? Can you lift up a little bit more? Same as that little like zombie lift that we had there, that feeling of lifting up and in. Take another big inhale and then slowly roll down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. Walk the feet in, imprint the spine. Take your hands to a little V or a little T, whatever helps you keep your shoulders open. From here, big deep inhale. Exhale, lift your right foot up to the sky. If there's a bend in that knee, that is a-okay. If your leg's a little lower, that's fine too. If we need to keep our left foot on the floor, do so. But could we reach our left to meet our right and seal our inner thighs together? From here, a couple of times, let's flex and point the toe. Flex and point. 1 or 2 more times. You got this. And then from here, I want you to hug your knees into your chest and maybe pull your knees towards your shoulders if that feels nice, kind of opening up. And then eventually, we're going to take our hands back down to our sides, this time either in a low V or right down behind us. I want us to do that pelvic tip we were working on the other day, but keeping our knees in our chest and almost trying to lift our sitting bones off the floor. So it's almost a reverse crunch. So instead of exhaling to lift our head and chest up, we're going to exhale, lift our tushy up, and roll down. Now, that is a huge move, my friends. Do not feel discouraged if you can barely get it up and you feel like you plop your butt straight on down. Even just lifting our hips up here is a monumentous exercise for us. So do not feel discouraged if this feels crazy hard. It's supposed to be. It's a 30-day challenge. But I want us to press into the ground almost like you're trying to press your hands through the floor beneath you. Use all of that engagement of your whole body, not just our belly muscles. Those are obviously working, but take a big inhale and then exhale. Think of lifting up and lowering down. Lifting up and lowering down. Now, the goal is to sequentially lower down just like we would in our bridge, just like we do in our roll up, roll down. Same thing here. So the more that we can kind of press into the ground with the backs of our arms and tone those belly muscles, pull those low belly muscles up and in and roll down, the easier of a time we may have. Let's go ahead and do that 2 or 3 more times. Exhale up and down. Lift it up and down. 1 more time, up and down. And then roll yourself up to a seat. And I want to show you a little trick that can help us work on our roll over, because again, it is a great big exercise. And it's using the momentum of our rolling like a ball. Now let me show you. You can jump on in as soon as you're ready, but sometimes it's nice to watch. Similar to our rolling like a ball, we'll roll back and forward. But instead of holding our legs the whole time, once I start to tip back, I'm gonna bring my hands down, and I'm gonna pause to talk a little bit, but you won't pause here. You're gonna set those hands down, roll back, and use the strength of the back of your arms to lift the hips up, and then slowly lower down, roll up. So a little bit faster, it looks like roll back, pause, roll up, pause. Roll back, pause, roll up, pause. And do you see the minute I start to roll up, I come back into that C curve shape, into our rolling like a ball shape. So I'm not keeping my head and chest down like we would in a true roll over. But so it can be a nice way to get that feeling of lifting your hips up a little bit higher. But let's try a couple more times. Roll back, pause. Roll up, pause. Every time you pause, think of cinching the waist, low belly up and in, scooping that tummy. Roll back, tone the belly. Roll back, hold. Ooh, I almost fell out of that one. Roll back, lift. Roll back, pause. One more. Roll back, lift. Roll back, pause. Now again, that is a huge exercise for a lot of us. Roll over is in fact considered an advanced move in our Pilates class, so don't beat yourself up if that part is so hard during the sequence on our Fridays, or if it's really hard right now. You are doing fabulous. It's all about trying new things, maybe seeing what we can do, and sometimes we surprise ourselves. Now, if we'd like to try just a little bit more, this next time, could we roll back and stay, and maybe move our legs a little bit? So I'm gonna roll back, hold, and then we're gonna kind of move and groove our legs. One thing I do want you to be mindful of is the space between chin and chest. It is very easy to cave everything in when we're in that position. I want you to envision that you have an apple or an orange between your chin and chest at all times, and we're still trying to point our nose away from us, so we're not caving into our body. We're keeping our lovely, broad, open chest. So, find your little rolling like a ball, tone that belly, take a big inhale. Exhale, roll back, pause. Now from here, can we draw our knees towards one another and then rotate them away? Draw our knees towards one another and rotate them away. Two more, pressing into the ground with the backs of your arms, keeping space between chin and chest. Last one, knees together. Now take one hand to your back. Take your other hand to your back. And then from here, could we maybe straighten one leg up? And maybe it doesn't go up, maybe it goes out to the wall behind us, that's okay. And pull it in. Straighten the other leg up. And then pull it in. Two more up. Exhale down, up, and down. Last one up, bring it in. Very last one up, bring it in. Now take a moment, open your knees, bring your hands back down, take a big inhale. Exhale, roll up, find your little spot, and relax. That was big, so good. I'm so proud of you. Take your nice easy seat, pull your belly button up and in. Big inhale, hands lift nice and high. Exhale, bring your right hand down. Find a little kickstand, lift it up, and take a big side stretch over. Press down through your left sitting bone. Imagine I'm holding your left hand and I'm pulling it out and away. Take a big inhale, and then reach forward to the front edge of your mat. Circle, so you're in your forward fold, and roll yourself up. Same thing other side. Both hands lift high. Left hand down, right hand up, and it's like you're making a little rainbow shape as you stretch over. Big inhale. Exhale, circle down and around, and roll yourself up. Now, you haven't forgotten that I said yet when I said I wasn't going to make you roll up and down. We are going to do that one little set. That'll be our last big thing of today. Take those hands behind your thighs. Now, do you remember in the baseline sequence, I say I use that exhale on that challenging part when I come up. So we're gonna roll all the way down, and then you'll use your inhale to start the curve up and your exhale to finish it off. For me, planting my heels into the floor, finding that connection of my heels and my sitting bones is so helpful for me when I roll down and up. Take those hands out in front of you. Hug your imaginary little present. What's inside? Hopefully something that makes you smile. Take a big inhale. Exhale, tip back, slowly roll down. Take all the time you need to, fast or slow. Remember, it's not about perfection. Reach your hands over your head. Do not let your low back move away. Inhale, start to lift the head and the chest. Use your exhale to curl, lift yourself up. Now I just let my heels lift up. That we don't want to do. Do as I say, not as I do. It's hard to talk through this, my friends. Tip on back again, one vertebrae at a time, gently coming down. Reach your hands over your head. Inhale, and then exhale right here. And remember how I said that we don't want to throw our present? No, we want to keep it nice and steady between hands, no yanking those hands over your head to use that momentum. One thing that is helpful though, if we get to a point where it does feel like we have to hike ourselves all the way up, maybe come back and do a few more of those little zombie kind of curl ups to help reach you up. That was not a very good one. Again, do as I say, not as I do. Last one, tip the pelvis back, slowly rock down. Lift your present up over your head. And then inhale right here. Exhale, curl all the way up. Sit up tall and straight. One more time. Take that nice, easy seat. This time, hands through the front of your shins. And let's take a great big stretch forward, kind of trying to reach your heart forward. It's like a little string is attached to my shirt and it's pulling it forward. And then I curl the opposite direction, dropping my chin to my chest. I roll the shoulders back and reach my heart forward. And then I curl on back. One more time, forward. Bring it on back. Stay in this nice little hinge back, and then I want you to circle around to the right a couple of times. Just moving and grooving, and then to the left. Oh, you might hear some pops in my mic. I don't know if you can hear that, but my back's popping just a little bit. And then come on back to center. As always, give yourself a pat on the back. Today was such a hard one. You did so wonderful. Remember, it's not about doing everything perfectly, but committing to whatever little intention you set for yourself. So if that's doing all 30 days of the challenge and you are here having done every single day beforehand, way to go. Give yourself an extra pat on the back. If your intention was just about trying something new, trying to get into your body in a different way, you're doing it. Wherever you are, I hope you are enjoying your day, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow.